Hi everyone, and welcome to Wrestling Grade, where we review and grade each match and segment from Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, and pay-per-views. This episode, May 29th, SmackDown Live. Before we get started, be sure to like this video, leave a comment, and for more Wrestling Grade, subscribe. Alright, let's get started and talk about this week's SmackDown. SmackDown was live from North Carolina and opened with Samoa Joe coming to the ring. He pulled out a ladder, put it in the ring, he climbed it, and he took down the Money in the Bank briefcase. He cut a good, intense promo here, claiming that he was going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match and saying that he will beat Daniel Bryan later in the night in their qualifying match. In his promo, he mentions Bryan's wife and Bryan's daughter, which of course brings Bryan out. Bryan threatens to break Joe's leg and wants to have their match right now. Before they can start fighting, Big Cass walks out, walking on a crutch. He slowly makes his way to the ring, and he explains that the match between Bryan and Joe is not going to happen, according to Paige. Instead, Joe will be fighting Big Cass in a qualifying match for Money in the Bank when Big Cass is medically cleared, which he already is. That surprised me. I didn't think Big Cass was cleared, so that was a fun little surprise. He hits Samoa Joe with his crutch, and he whips Daniel Bryan into the ladder and holds up the Money in the Bank briefcase. Cass got some really good heat here. You can tell he's really trying, and I think he did a decent job. It's so good to see a show start off without an authority figure and without an impromptu match, so I give this a grade of B+. Before going to commercial, we saw Shinsuke Nakamura backstage holding up paper cards that had numbers on them that counted to 10. This was just really strange. I don't understand why they couldn't have just shown him walking to the ring. So this was nothing. I'm not even going to grade it. I'm just going to move on. After the commercial, we saw Paige backstage. She runs into Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, who have a problem with Asuka being the number one contender for the SmackDown Women's title. So Paige books Mandy in a match against Asuka for later. Then Renee Young walks up to Paige, and they awkwardly walk as Paige clarifies the night's main event, which will be Cass versus Joe versus Bryan. Paige is an awkward GM. I would say that they did a good job not doing this in the opening segment in the ring of the show, but I'm not enjoying Paige as an authority figure on the show at all. I guess it's good that this segment combined the making of two matches in one segment, so I give it a grade of C+. Next, we got a match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Ty Dillinger. This was an average match. Shinsuke attempted a couple mock 10 counts while Dillinger was down, referencing his upcoming match against AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank. Dillinger put up a good fight here. He showed intensity, which made me like him more. Shinsuke ended the match by hitting a Kinshasa and getting the win. After the match, he hit it again to the back of Dillinger's head to get a full mock 10 count. All this was pretty basic, just building towards the WWE title match at Money in the Bank. Nothing special here. Nothing really bad about it either. I just hope we don't get 2 or 3 more weeks of Shinsuke just counting to 10 over and over again, because that's going to wear thin really quickly. I give this a grade of C+. Next, we got a backstage interview with AJ Styles. AJ Styles says he will beat Shinsuke Nakamura at Money in the Bank, and that's really the sum of the entire interview. This wasn't horrible, but it also wasn't good. It felt way too scripted. I love AJ Styles, but he really needs to work on his mic skills. Grade C-. Next, Rusev and Aiden English came out to introduce Lana for a dance contest against Naomi. I don't know why we're getting a dance contest on a wrestling show. It's probably because Lana isn't a wrestler. Lana comes out, then Naomi comes out, then the Usos come out to back up Naomi. Lana does a short dance in the ring, then Naomi does one. Lana's was actually better, though I don't think it was supposed to be. And there was a really great moment during this where Brian Saxton said that Lana just got served, and Corey Graves said, "Shut up, Byron," which I absolutely loved. Lana invited Naomi to dance with her, which she did, and then Lana hit her with an unexpected neck breaker. The Usos threw Rusev Day out of the ring, and then Naomi did the same thing to Lana. There was nothing here. This was certainly better than it deserved to be, but I'm not really sure why it happened at all. This is absolutely not the way to go about building a feud or a match in any way. Grade D-. Next, we got a 6-man tag match between the New Day versus Miz and The Bar. All these guys did a great job in this match. This was absolutely the best match of the night. There were a lot of highlight spots and near falls. Xavier Woods had a great hot tag moment where he was beating down all the other guys on the opposing team. The crowd was into it the whole time. This was great. It ended with Big E hitting the big ending on Miz for the pin and the win. The only problem here is that there was nothing at stake, so I don't really know why they were fighting to begin with, but the in-ring action really helped make up for that, so I give this a grade of B. Next, we got a backstage interview with Gallows and Anderson. They say they're going to win the tag team titles at Money in the Bank when they fight the Bludgeon Brothers. Next to them on a flat screen TV, we saw a Bludgeon Brothers promo, which was very nonsensical. They were saying that bodies will be liquefied at Money in the Bank. Okay, Gallows and Anderson, they did a good job here. They were well spoken, but nothing special happened here, and I'm not excited about their upcoming match at all, and this didn't help. Grade D. Next, Carmella came to the ring to join the announce team for the match between Asuka and Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose has straight-up porno entrance music, and I don't know why, but Corey's commentary during her entrance and part of Asuka's entrance was hilarious. Asuka, while she was coming down, Sonya Deville attacked her from behind. She crawled her way to the ring, and the match began. During this match, Carmella's commentary was really annoying and not in a good heel way. It was just annoying. The match itself was pretty basic. There were some hard-hitting moves, but it was a little sloppy at times. Asuka won with the Asuka lock, and after the match, Carmella got into the ring. She walks up to Asuka and holds up the women's title. This felt a little awkward, and then Carmella tried to moonwalk away from her, but didn't look good. I guess this was okay. It did its job, and I'm somewhat interested to see their match at Money in the Bank. I'm also glad Mandy Rose wasn't squashed in her match, saving her from being just a jobber. So I'll give this a grade of C+. Next, we got a backstage segment with Charlotte and Becky Lynch, who tell each other that they're going to win Money in the Bank. Paige walks up to them and encourages the competition. Charlotte and Becky did fine here, but Paige, her dialogue delivery is not good. It just makes me cringe. Grade C-. Next, we got a very strange backstage segment with Andre Cien Almas, who talks to an unknown lucha wrestler. He said something to him in Spanish, and I have no idea what this was. This was just weird, and it should not have been on the show at all. Grade F. Next, we got the main event of the night, Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass versus Samoa Joe for this final spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. There was nothing noteworthy in this match. It was kind of clunky and slow. The match ended when Bryan hit the flying knee on Cass and went for the pin, but Joe pulled Bryan off and put him in the coquina clutch, making him pass out. Joe wins, getting the final spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. After the match, Big Cass hit Bryan with a big boot to close the show, setting up a likely rematch between him and Bryan at Money in the Bank. In this match, the chemistry between these three guys just never happened, and Big Cass did too much walking around, just slowly looking angry at the crowd. Plus, they took a commercial break at 9:50 and came back with only a few minutes left in the show. It just didn't feel important, and it wasn't really all that good. Grade D. So, having tallied up all the grades, SmackDown tonight gets a final average of 7.2 out of 11, giving them a C- overall for tonight's show. So it was okay, below average, pretty standard for SmackDown. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and please do subscribe to the channel. I'll talk to you guys next week for Monday Night Raw. Until then, take care.